Good morning, sixth graders. So we are moving on. Next lesson, as we look at percent, is going to be a fraction as a percent. So we kind of looked a little bit last time at going back and forth between fractions and percents and decimals, but now more of that. So our first example, a survey was taken that asked participants whether or not they were happy with their job. An overall score was given. 300 participants were unhappy, while 700 of the participants were happy with their job. Give a part to whole fraction for comparing happy participants to the whole. What percent were happy with their job and what percent were unhappy with their job? So when it says a part to whole fraction, it means part of the participants, so either the happy ones or the unhappy ones. In this case, it's asking us the happy, and then the whole. So if 300 were unhappy, 700 were happy, how many do we have total? We have 1,000. And then how many were happy? 700. So we have 700 over 1,000, and just for comparison, we have 300 over 1,000 unhappy. So what do we do next? Well, we can simplify it to be over 100 for the percent. So 70 over 100 is 70%, and 30 over 100 is 30%. We also used tape diagrams here, so you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10, and 3 out of 10 shaded, which also equals the 30 and 70%. So you can add them together to double check. 70 and 30 is 100%, and 7 plus 3 is going to give you 10 for the total amount of parts shaded. Okay, so now this is kind of the big part. So it's asking you to complete the conversions from fraction to decimal to percent. So first, how do we turn our fractions into decimals? For this, you're definitely going to want to use a calculator. Otherwise, it would be a lot of long division. But so for the first one, we would take 1 divided by 8. You're always taking the top number divided by the bottom number. So in this case, with a fraction, take the numerator divided by the denominator. And we're going to get 0.125 for our decimal. Okay? Then we continue to the next. 7 over 20 is 0.35. 845 over 1,000 is 0.845. 325 is 325, or 0.325, and 2 over 25 is 0.08. Now, how do we make them percents? Well, with the decimals, it's pretty easy. So your percent is always going to be out of 100 in this case. So we can move to the hundredth, the decimal to the space after the hundredth. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths in this case. So we would move the decimal 2 places and end up with 12.5%. The next one, we end up with a whole percent of 35, 84.5, 32.5, and just 8. So again, whatever's in that hundredths place, that's as far as you'd go before the decimal point. And since there's nothing in the tenths place, we just have 8 over here. So work on these ones on your own. You are converting a decimal to a fraction in percent, a percent to a fraction in a decimal, and then a fraction to a decimal and a percent. Don't worry if it's a little challenging. We'll go over the answers shortly, but so hit pause, and then when you're ready, hit play to see what the answers are. So first we have 0.3 to a fraction and a percent. Well, 3 is in the tenths place, so the easiest fraction to make it would be 3 over 10, or 3/10. And then percentage is pretty easy to make it to 30. Next we have 9%. All the percents are out of 100, so 9 over 100. And then we put that 9 in the hundredths place. And then our 3/8, so we would take 3 divided by 8 and we get 0.375. And then we move our decimal place 2 places to get 37.5%. So that's it. Your assignment is to work on an Excel skill. If you have questions or just want more examples, let me know. I can make another video, point you to other examples or more problems or whatever it is, just let me know. But otherwise, that's it for you. It's due tomorrow.